Hello everyone! Today I have a bookshelf tour of all of my unread fiction books. I've worked very hard to clean up these shelves, to add books I really want to read in 2025, and get rid of all the books that I really am not picking up, books that I just no longer want to read. I also took off all the books that I've read, so these are all the unread books, or at least unread as of like 20 years ago. So I'm going to start up here. So I have Half a Yellow Sun, which I really need to read. This book I've had forever. White Tiger has still not been finished. This is a new one. It's such a pretty book. I wonder what it's about. Oh, this is the author of Disgraced. Wonder if I have that book. Not sure. Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf? I've been really wanting to pick that one up. I just haven't had a chance. Dante's Divine Comedy. Case History. So I have two Kate Atkinson books. Margaret Atwood's Oxy and Crane and Blind Assassin. A bunch of Jane Austen. I have Emma, Persuasion, and Sense and Sensibility. Beartown by Frederick Backman. James Baldwin. I have not read any James Baldwin yet. John Bainsfield's The Sea. This book I almost unhauled just because I read half of it and I wasn't feeling it. But then I ended up saving it. I have, this is the sequel to, what is this the sequel to? Six of Crows. So I'm currently reading that one. I don't know. I'm not really that excited about it yet. It is a bit young adult, which, yeah, I'm not going to be able to get that back in. Ship's Fever. Tender is the Flesh. I really got to start on this one. This one I'm really excited about. Got Ducks. This is a graphic novel that I just added. The Sellout by Paul Beatty. Another one I really got to get going on. Endgame. A Manual for Cleaning Women. A lot of these books I added recently because of the New York Times list and the reader's response, and also some other response lists like the YouTube response. So I ended up just making a priority to save and gather more books on those lists. Just for variety's sake. Captain Corelli's Mandolin is another one I've had forever. Alone with You in the Ether. Salvage Detectives. Ark's Angel. This is a arc that I just have not picked up. That's a shame. I keep saying this every time. I need to pick that one up. I have the complete Science Fiction Hall of Fame, and I've read about a third of this one, the first one. And then The Mists of Avalon. I know this book is problematic, but I did save it from the last on haul because I am kind of interested in the story. The Ministry of Time is a new book I just got, which I think it won. It maybe not any official awards, but at least it got the Goodreads Award for best science fiction of 2024. Horse by Geraldine Brooks. March by Geraldine Brooks. The Red Rising, Pierce Brown. Is that what it's called? The Red Rising? Yeah, the Red Rising trilogy. So I really want to read that one next year. Some Octavia Butler. Good Scent from a Strange Mountain. Myths of Sisyphus. I almost said syphilis. Sisyphus. The Girl with All the Gifts. I'm actually halfway through this book. I don't know why I put it back on the shelf. I don't know. I guess I stopped reading it. Two books by John le Carré. The Constant Gardener and Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy, which I think are his two better books. The Bloody Chamber. Clytemnestra. A Long Way to a Small Angry Planet. This is another series I really want to pick up in 2025. The Stories of John Cheever. Some books by Chekhov. The Russian Master and Other Stories, and The Kiss and Other Stories. I guess I didn't get very far. Every time I start Arrival, I just can't seem to get interested in it. So I don't know. I know it's short stories, so I just need to pull through and just keep going. It's another book I can't get back in. Jonathan Strange and Mr. Norrell. I tried to read this book like 2 months ago, and it just didn't go well for me. I had a really hard time focusing on the story. It's very slow in the beginning, so I put that one back to read another time. Waiting for the Barbarians by Kotezi. Netanyahu's by Josh Cohen. This is another trilogy that I want to get going on. What is this one called? Leviathan Wakes. The Expanse series, that's what it is. House of Leaves. Underworld by John DeLillo. The Last Samurai by Helen DeWitt. In the Distance by Herman Diaz. So this is the author of Trust, which I read this year, was one of my favorite books of this year. A Tale of Two Cities by Charles Dickens, and this one also has Great Expectations. I've had that forever and haven't picked it up. The Copenhagen Trilogy, which I just got. My beautiful new copy of Crime and Punishment. This one's so pretty. I also have The Brother Karamazov. I think I'm also might be getting a nice new copy of this book for Christmas. And The Gambler. Sherlock Holmes. This has 4 of the stories in it, and it's just the cutest copy. My Cousin Rachel, Frenchman's Creek, and Don't Look Now. This is Dancing After Hours, a collection of short stories. I think that's what it is. Yes. The Brothers, which I don't know what this book is about, but I hear it's amazing, so I really just need to get going on that one. The Resurrectionist. This is a uncorrected proof that I need to get going on. Geek Love. I don't know much about it. I tried reading it and I wasn't really feeling it, so I put it back on the shelf, and we'll see. Hopefully I'll pick it back up again. Middlemarch, Middle on the Floss, The Roundhouse by Lewis Eldridge, The Night Watchman, and Love Medicine. These are the 3 books I kept by her. Middlesex and The Virgin Suicides. That's both by Jeffrey Eugenides. Is that right? I think I'm butchering that pronunciation. Girl, Woman, Other is another new book. Trees by Percival Everett. This book seems a bit disturbing. That's why I've been hesitant to pick it up. I loved his other 2 books that I read. James and American Fiction. Or not, that American Fiction was not the name of the book. It was that was the name of the movie. Erasure was the name of the book. Got This Side of Paradise by Fitzgerald, which I think it's my last book by Fitzgerald that I own that I need to read. Narrow Road to the Deep North. Gone Girl, The Pillars of the Earth. And we got Room with a View, Septology, which is really new. I've gotten rid of all the Jonathan Franzen books that I have, so I only have Crossroads left. Outlander by Diane Gabaldon, which I read a good part of the first quarter, and I liked it, but I ended up putting it back on the shelf. I don't know. Just try again. I got JR, which is new. Sandman, which I think I've had for a year now. I need to pick that one up. And Coraline. A Lesson Before Dying. I've read the first chapter and I really liked it, but for some reason didn't keep going. 2 William Gibson books, Neuromancer and The Peripheral. I know Neuromancer is extremely well rated and is considered one of the best science fiction books, so I'm excited for that one. The Signature of All Things. I really do like Elizabeth Gilbert. This really cute book. Doctor Who, City of Death. 3 books by Ursula Le Guin. 3 books that I hear are just absolutely incredible. The Dispossessed, Lavinia, and The Left Hand of Darkness. And we got After Lives. Snow Falling on Cedars. This is another book that's been on my shelf forever. 2 books by Yasi, Homecoming and Transcendent Kingdom. Exit West. Starship Troopers. I think I started this one and I wasn't crazy about it, so I didn't keep going, but I want to read that one. Catch As Catch Can. I did read the first story in this one. I really liked it. Farewell to Arms. Looking forward to. The Dune graphic novels. I really do want to like Dune, so I need to make a priority of these books. Herman Hesse's Steppenwolf. 1,000 Splendid Suns. Les Miserables. And well, I guess there's nothing, it's just empty, no cover. But I also have this cute graphic novel to read with it. And then we have 2 books by Aldous Huxley. We have Eyeless in Gaza and Island. 3 books by John Irving, Son of the Circus, Prayer for Owen Meany, which I need to start over. I was so annoyed by, I tried listening to the audiobook and it was so annoying and I just can't do it. So I need to just read it. The Cider House Rules, my last Ishiguro book that I still have, The Artist of the Floating World. The Shadow of What Was Lost is new. 2 books by Shirley Jackson, We Have Always Lived in the Castle and The Haunting of Hill House. My Henry James collection. We got, these are just stories, I think, and also like annotated commentary, Turn of the Screw, Aspirin Papers, Daisy Miller, Wings of the Dove, The Ambassadors, the love songs of W.E. Du Bois, W.E.B. Du Bois, The Orphan Master's Son, the sequels to Howl's Moving Castle, Castle in the Air, and The House of Many Ways, The Known World by Edward P. Jones. I don't know how this book keeps getting back on my shelf, but it has won a lot of awards, so I do want to read that one. And then we have The Wheel of Time by Robert Jordan, and a bunch of books by James Joyce, and I have not yet read any James Joyce, but I do want to. Same thing with Kurt Vonnegut, a bunch of books by Kurt Vonnegut that I haven't read. I only read 2 books by him, which is Slaughterhouse 5, and then there's another one, a collection of stories I didn't like. I think I read his biography too, which I also didn't like. No, the short stories I did like, but I can't remember the name of it. And this is a canticle for Leibowitz, which is new, and so same with the stationery shop. And we have some Claire Keegan. I did just finish a Claire Keegan book. Oh, and before that we have The Sound of the Mountain. The Sound of the Mountain, which I think is a Nobel Prize winner, or something like that. Yeah, there we go. Claire Keegan Foster. I read her collection of short stories, Antarctica, and it was okay. It was okay. Some of the stories were good. Some of the stories were bland. But I'm going to hold on to it for now. Lily King's Writers and Lovers. We got Carrie, The Stand, The Shining, and 11/22/63 by Stephen King. Barbara Kingsolver's Demon Copperhead, Poison the Bible. This is an uncorrected, advanced reading copy of Eurotrash, which I still haven't picked up, even though it's so tiny. This is brand new. The Maniac by Benjamin Le Batut. Jean-Pierre Lemperre, Unaccustomed Earth and the Namesake, The Leopard, Ancillary Justice, Phantom of the Opera, The Golden Notebook, Babbitt, Let the Right One In. This one's still in its plastic, The Prophet Song by Paul Lynch. Wicked. I am kind of a good portion into this book, and it's very dark, very disturbing. The Great Believers, Hilary Mantel's Bringing Up the Body, and Wolf Hall. Life of Pi, still on the shelf, still not read. Hopefully I'll get to it soon. My Friends by Hisham Matar. Somerset's Mom's The Razor Edge. Deacon King Kong and the Heaven and Earth Grocery Store by James McBride. I'm just moving my stool. Let the Great World Spin. Lots of books by Cormac McCarthy. Lessons by Ian McEwan. I also have The Innocent, and Amsterdam, and I got rid of the rest. Arthur Miller's A View from the Bridge, A Fine Balance, Gone with the Wind, Watchmen. This book was hard to get into. Toni Morrison. I ended up keeping everything by Toni Morrison. A Mercy, Beloved, Paradise, Song of Solomon, and The Bluest Eye. And then Winter in Moscow. You really need to make a priority because this one's been here for a while. 2 books by Alice Munro, Dear Life, and Hate Ship, Friendship, Courtship, Love Ship, Marriage, which was on that list that I keep talking about, the New York Times list, I think. Murakami books, Norwegian Wood, Wild Sheep's Chase, Wind Up Bird Chronicle, After Dark, and Iris Murdoch's The Sea. My last Gabriel Garcia Marquez book, The General in His Labyrinth. My Nabokov collection, which I really only did read Lolita. And I read some of his biography, didn't get far, and I've tried reading Pale Fire so many times. Such a difficult book. And I think I did start Glory. I think I liked the beginning of Glory, so they're hard books to read. And okay, I'm going back up to the next section. Okay, we got Hello Beautiful, The Eternal Audience of One, which is another book I got from the publisher that I haven't read. Uprooted, looking forward to that one. That looks like a nice fun fantasy. Mastering the Commander, which I've had forever. complete stories of Flannery O'Connor, The English Patient, There, I'll get to that. Some books by Orwell. The ones I kept were Keep the Aspidestra Flying and Coming Up for Air and Down and Out in Paris and London. And then I got graphic novels of 1984 and Animal Farm. Got Invisible Monsters, My Name is Red by Orhan Pamuk, Dr. Zhivago by Pasternak, Tom Lake by Ann Patchett. It's funny, I read almost all this book last year, and then I didn't like it. I didn't end up finishing it, and then I bought a copy and just have not picked it up, but I will. I want to read it. We got the Dictionary of the Khazars, which I'm always hesitant about, but it just has the most incredible reviews, and people say the most amazing things about it, so yeah, I'll get to that. And then Night Watch, this one, the Pulitzer, I think last year, or this year. The Overstory, Richard Powers, The Prestige, which I got because I like the movie a lot. Swan's Way. Will I ever get through this book? I did try to make an effort this year to read it, and I didn't get that far, but it was challenging. So I got the graphic novel of Swan's Way to help myself along. Same thing with Philip Pullman. I had a really hard time with this one, so I got the graphic novel. And then I ended up keeping all the Marilyn Robinson books, Guild, Home, Lila, and Housekeeping. And we got Conversation with Friends, American Pastoral, The Plot Against America, and The Human Stain by Philip Roth. And then The Ministry of Utmost Happiness by Arundhati Roy. And then Mating by Salman Rushdie, Midnight's Children, Satanic Verses, and The Enchantress of Flores, My Dark Vanessa, Frankenstein, Don Quixote, The Way of Kings by Brandon Sandenberg, Seeing by Jose Saramago, The 13th Tale. What's this? Pygmalion by George Bernard Shaw. I know some I say the authors and some I don't. I don't know. I'm just being lazy. Stone Diaries. We need to talk about Kevin. Allure Olympus. Got myself last year. Never read it, but it looks so cute. The Light Between the Oceans. I really do want to make that a priority because this is another audiobook. I tried doing the audiobook. I really had a hard time understanding the narrator's accent. So I just need to read the physical copy of that one. John Steinbeck's Cannery Row. Snow Crash by Neil Stevenson and 70s, Dracula, Shuggy Brain, Sophie's Choice, Pulphead, Children of Time, Flights, 2 books by Olga Tokarczuk, okay, Lord of the Rings, and the graphic novel for The Hobbit, and my beautiful new copy of War and Peace. This is a vintage classic edition. And then I have Trollope, The Last Chronicle of Barset, A Sportsman Notebook, Fathers and Sons, those are by Turgenev, Brooklyn, Rabbit Run, Rabbit Redux, Saga Volume 8. I just only read Volume 1, and I found this at a thrift store, so I'm waiting to get Volumes 2 through 7. Covenant of Water and Cutting for Stone by Abraham Burgess. My David Foster Wallace collection. I did try reading Infinite Jest. I didn't get very far. I will try again. But I have brief interviews with Hideous Men, Infinite Jest, The Pale King, and Consider the Lobster. Sing Unburied Sing and Salvage the Bones by Jasmine Ward. All the King's Men by Robert Penn Warren. And then a bunch of books by Evelyn Waugh, Vile Bodies, Men at Arms, and The End of the Battle. Age of Innocence, The Bridge of San Luis Rey. P.G. Wodehouse. I'm having a really hard time focusing on his work. I'm currently reading Very Good Jeeves, and it's really hard for me to focus on it. I'm not really feeling the humor. I don't know. The books are so well reviewed, but I'm having such a hard time. I don't know whether I should just keep pushing through or give up. A bunch of books by Virginia Woolf. We got Orlando, The Waves to the Lighthouse and Night and Day, A Little Life, How to Live Safely in a Science Fiction Universe, and The Shadow in the Wind, Germinal, Next to Normal, and Voltaire's Candide. Now this is where I keep my series that I'm currently working on. I have Isaac Asimov's Foundation. I am still working my way through, I forget what book it is. It's Foundation and, where is it? I'm looking at the books I'm currently reading. Foundation's Edge, which is very slow, and I'm not really crazy about the writing. I also have my Agatha Christie's Evil Under the Sun and a bunch of Hercule Poirot mysteries. I have Death's and The Dark Forest, which is books 2 and 3 of the 3 Body Problem, which I really just need to get back into. These are really jam-packed. I'm having a hard time getting them out. The rest of my Faulkner books that I haven't read, My Brilliant Friend by Elena Ferrantes, which I haven't started reading. I just read the first one, so I need to start book 2, My Brilliant Friend, The Story of a New Name. I do want to continue the Lady Astronaut series, and this is book 3. I just need book 2. Murray Lou's Prodigy and Champion. Those are books 2 and 3. And Jason Pargin's books. These are 3 and 4. And then I have my Terry Pratchett that I've been collecting but not reading, but I will read them because I love them. And then same thing with Dennis Taylor's Bobverse books. I think he just came out with book 5. But I still need to read 2, 3, and 4. And then my George Saunders books that I have left, In Persuasion Nation and The Braindead Megaphone, and then J.D. Salinger's Raise High the Roof Beams. And then this is really cute. I saw some people had put all their Penguin Classics together, and they looked so pretty. So I did that. I just took all the Penguin Classics and put them here, and I put my little book nooks all in between them. I don't think this... Oh, there we go. The light works. That's pretty. There we go. And I put my little book nooks there, and they look so pretty. It looks like a wallpaper, but I have Plato, Jane Austen, Marcus Aurelius, Edgar Allan Poe, Rilke, The Book of Disquiet, Seneca, Letter from a Stoic, Utopia, Thomas More, Homer's Iliad, Poetics, Aristotle, Dorothy Parker, Chekhov, Count of Monte Cristo, Moon and Sixpence by Somerset Maugham, some John Steinbeck, Tortilla Flat and Log from A Sea of Cortez, The Power and the Glory by Graham Greene, which I was going to get rid of, but I kept because it was the Penguin Classic and it was new, and I really wanted to create this cute effect. Hugo's Notre Dame, Steinbeck, Grapes of Wrath and Eastern Eden, which I did read, but I wanted the books again to be here. And then Saul Bellows, Augie March. Anyway, they look so pretty, and I really like this. This is very peaceful and calms me down when I look at it. So anyway, so that's my TBR fiction bookshelf tour. Thank you for watching.